Greetings and welcome, everyone, to All You Can Geek Podcast, episode number 301, Movies and TV Shows. That's right, this is part one of a two-parter episode, as we're going to do from now on. So you look for 301.5, which will cover video games, but this is going to be just movies and TV shows. So, and it's video. Right. Hi, everybody, it's video. So now we actually have to look like we're paying attention. I mean, we're always paying attention, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Totally. So, all right, well, let's get into the box office and kick off this new 300 thing. Yeah, like we normally do. What happened to all the news? There we go. All right, let's see. Opening this week was Ghostbusters and Secret Life of Pets. And Ghostbusters lost, just barely, though, to Secret Life of Pets. So Secret Life took number one at $50.8 million. And the rebooted Ghostbusters, which I did not go see, which I was going to do it, and then I ended up watching the original Ghostbusters. And then I got angry.
You made a pretty big stink on Slack about going to see it, too.
Well,
just a correction for you, Jim. Secret Life of Pets opened up the weekend before, so
second. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, second week of this. So I was going to go see Ghostbusters, yes, and I didn't go see it. I had a bunch of friends over, so I didn't see it. However, I did watch the original Ghostbusters and then got angry when I had to call it the original Ghostbusters.
The original.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you could still call it the original Ghostbusters.
No, you should just call it Ghostbusters. And if they're talking about the new one, they need to say, in parentheses, 2016.
So
yeah, I watched Ghostbusters 2016.
So it's called Ghostbusters, the original, no matter what. This is the rule we're going to make then, okay. So it's called Ghostbusters no matter what, unless you're talking about this one, in which case you're talking about the rebooted or 2016 Ghostbusters. That's it.
Yeah.
So we're going to say Ghostbusters from this point forward, and I'm always referring to the Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray and the, that whole thing. Sounds good?
Yep.
Okay.
Fair
That's
enough.
the rule, listeners.
So I don't know, just real quick to cut you off a little bit, Jim, but I guess the video thing kind of threw you off, but you never introduced anybody.
Yeah, it definitely threw me off. So, well, welcome, listeners, again to episode 301. I'm Jim, one of your hosts, Jim Gass, joined by Corey Feinsod.
Hey, guys.
And Tony Korkodakis. You notice Mike is MIA. He was afraid to be on the camera.
He's camera shy.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding. He is.
He's at the beach.
He's doing some normal
beach
person thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and now you can see I'm looking at my watch. Shit, I gotta be careful. All right. Anyway, so yeah, back to the box office. Ghostbusters debuted at number 2 at $46 million, which is not a flop.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. It's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, it could have been worse. It could have been like Warcraft money.
Yeah. Yeah, it's true. That's the other thing. I mean, Warcraft. Warcraft's going to lose no matter what. Thanks to China. I have that on here in the news. Warcraft
in
is
the box office, but I mean, overall.
Well, no, this is planning releases and videos and stuff. They're projecting $15 million loss. So, and by wording of their executive, the film would do well to have a sequel in China. So we may never see a sequel to Warcraft over here, but they may release something in China.
No, the next one will just go directly to Mists of Pandaria. It's like we just skip everything. Like we skip the Burning Crusade, we skip the Lich King, just go right into Mists of Pandaria.
Cataclysm?
Yeah, skip that. Mists of Pandaria. Pandas. Everybody was a panda. Kung Fu Panda. Jack Black. Get him.
All right. All right, so where were we? Back to the box office. So we had Ghostbusters, Legend of Tarzan at number 3, Finding Dory at 4, and Mike and Dave need wedding dates. That looked terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's at number 5. So there's your top 5 box office. Opening this week is Star Trek Beyond, which is getting fantastic reviews.
Really? Is it?
Yeah.
Pretty good ones. Like there are some like 10 I saw or something. Like Metacritic, there was 100.
I just loved it. So. Absolutely loved it. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Sonia and I can go.
Woo! And now we're going Thursday night. Sweet.
Nice.
So, going Thursday night. IMAX 3D or just regular? What do you think?
Probably regular.
Is there any IMAX for this?
Fuck 3D.
I don't care about 3D. It's. Is it shot?
If you're somehow watching us in 3D.
Oh, that would be cool.
No, it wouldn't.
It was shot on IMAX. It was shot in 3D and on IMAX cameras, Corey.
All right. Well, Perhaps then. I mean, it is space, so it would make sense. Is it space? I mean, the trailers didn't show too much space. Seemed like they're on planets.
That's what I'm worried about. I've been watching the Star Trek original series actually a lot recently. That's kind of what I've been up to here. Basically, I don't think we thought about formatting these shows. That's all right. So I'm watching Star Trek.
We're doing it all from scratch, guys.
The original series right now on Netflix, because Netflix actually just signed a deal for the Star Trek series.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So, it is good.
Remember. Yeah, I remember like a year or two ago they were talking about trying to get a new Star Trek television series, but I think, if I recall correctly, like no network wanted it or something like that, and there was like, yep, it's not going to get me. And I was like, wow, it's kind of a bummer. Like, kids these days aren't going to have that option growing up, which, it's kind of sad,
Yeah.
But Netflix to the day. Yay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Netflix.
So they already have, I don't even know what they're going to not. I mean, they already have it on there. Let's see.
They just signed a deal to stream or to beam the new CBS Star Trek television show.
It's coming out in January.
Right.
And
so they're going to stream that.
See, what's funny about this show is it's not going to be on TV. It's going to be on internet only. So it was going to be on CBS Access, which it's still going to be. But then 24 hours later, it's popping up on Netflix. So Netflix is kind of getting like Hulu here. There's 2 deals they have like this now. What's the other series they just got? Oh, CW shows. The CW shows now are supposed to be on Netflix within 30 days after they air, right?
Oh, the whole series, yeah. It's something crazy, yeah.
It's really short turnaround. Same thing with ABC, I believe. So Netflix is starting to slowly add these TV show deals. But anyway, so I've been watching that original series, and it's got such a different. I mean, it's a different feel. I mean, it's an older, slower. But that's Star Trek. That defines Star Trek.
Trek is actual.
Super action stuff.
Meaningful word.
Yeah, it's not Star Wars. It's supposed to be more I don't know, a thinking man's kind of show, or thinking person.
Well, it also brought up a lot of not controversial, but more cutting edge themes and things like that you wouldn't really see on television, because they could use aliens and make it okay. Yeah. I mean, so it's funny. I'm watching like I said, I was watching the original series, and they have Klingons, and the Klingons don't look like the Klingons that we. Well, Khan, right? Then he.
No, Khan's just a super genetic human. But
weren't there Klingons in that though? They didn't look like Worf. That's all I know.
No, they don't, and they don't really ever explain it. And some fans tried to retcon explain it, and it's pretty hilarious. So they basically just didn't have the budget to make Klingons in the TV show, so they made them more look like humans. And then on the first movie. The motion picture, they made them with the ridges on their head just slightly, and then as they progressed through time, they made them more advanced, brow things and stuff. So that's what we get with Worf. Worf was a completely new look Klingon in The Next Generation. Now I'm getting really nerdy on everybody. I'm sorry. So, but anyways, let's see. Let's get into some movie news, TV show news, and then we'll finish this with what we've been up to. Even though I said what I've kind of watched.
What we've been watching.
Yeah, what we've been watching. Sorry. All right. So we had Star Wars Celebration this weekend too, which was awesome that they actually they televised this. Not televised. They streamed it. So it was great though. Tony, did you ever get to tune into Rogue One when I was saying?
No.
Oh man.
No.
Watching that sizzle reel.
I'll go back.
I was it was so awesome watching the sizzle reel. I mean, I think I watched it every time they showed it, and they showed it 4 times because it broke at the show. So when they streamed it the first time to us, we got to see it all online, but they didn't at the audience there. They actually froze on them, so they re-showed it. But man,
embarrassing.
I'm actually.
We don't know anything about technical errors at all. No. We've never had any.
I'm actually psyched though for this movie now, even more so, because that sizzle reel I thought was so cool. It's a different style Star Wars movie.
Yeah, we definitely have to go see it. Maybe we can do a group watching.
I think we definitely.
Coming out of KOP this time.
It's going to be around. We could. I mean, that's going to be Christmas time, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So
December, right? Yeah.
December 16th.
Yeah, I mean, that's the concept of it is fantastic. I love that they're going back to this period in time and actually telling a story that is relevant to the main storylines of the films, the episode numbered ones, that kind of just were touched on, but now we're getting to see it in motion. The only thing I'm worried about a little bit is Gareth Edwards' is known for, I mean, not known, but I mean, he can do really great like trailers, but delivering on the actual movie is going to be something else. So we'll see.
And like, it's just so weird. There were actually talk about not having the opening scrolling credits, the scrolling story that we're so used to seeing. I think it absolutely has to be there. That's like a staple of Star Wars.
Oh yeah, that.
Even if it's
I thought they said that they weren't doing it for the anthology films.
That's what I've heard, but I think it needs to be there. I think it needs to be there.
It just would not feel right to me if it didn't have.
That's like
I couldn't consider it a Star Wars movie.
It's signature. That's the signature thing.
Like I don't know, do it in a different color maybe, other than yellow or something. If you want to,
I mean, everything has it, like all the TV shows.
Oh
cartoons,
yeah, you're right. Yeah, the movies or like the games, the show. Yeah, you're right.
They have to have this. They absolutely.
It better.
Yeah, they absolutely do have to have this. Let's see. So the sizzle reel was shown. They actually had the whole cast, the main cast, not obviously everybody, but the main cast was at the show. Alan Tudyk, who is one of my favorite actors, actually was.
I believe.
Yeah, he was there and he got to talk about the droid that he's playing, and he was hilarious on stage. Like you know what's funny is like you watch these actors on stage with other, like in other shows I've seen actors talk with each other in booths and panels, and it's funny. It's fun sometimes. We got to see it with the Marvel panel. But there was something about this crew, like there's just a good cohesive gel. You could just feel it. They were like a perfectly working unit, which gives me more confidence in this movie. Despite, like you said, Garrett, what's his name?
Gareth Edwards.
Gareth Edwards, thank you. Despite his track record of, who knows, they had a good repertoire on the stage. And even Donnie Yen had a great appearance there, even though there was I'm going to leave the spoiler off the podcast in case you guys missed it anyways. There was a massive spoiler released by his, I think he's Korean, I'm not sure who it is. He doesn't speak very, very good English.
Donnie Yen? Or
No, the guy that's next to him.
Oh.
The big guy. But he gave a huge spoiler, like huge. Like everybody's jaw dropped, and what's her name? Brienne of Tarth was hosting this. So she was hosting the panel because
Gwendolyn
Christie, I think her name is. But she basically was hosting the panel, which she got annoying sometimes with her woos. But there was a great but he gave up his huge spoiler. She even cut him off. Like she's doing this to him.
Oh.
Yeah, she was doing this. So you knew something bad was happening, and he got stuck on words. Because he's just English as a second language, and you can tell he was very nervous.
This is like universal, like no more.
Yeah. So he gave a huge spoiler, and I hope it was a misunderstanding. But that's why spoilers aren't really that bad unless because you don't know if it's true until you see it, and then you're like, okay, was it spoiled? I don't know. That's the argument I always have. But what did you guys? Did you watch the sizzle reel of this Rogue One?
I did.
You did? Tony, did you get to see it?
No.
You did. Okay. So
I'll have to watch that.
Corey, what did you think of that?
No, it's awesome. Like I said before, I really love that they're telling this story and going to this time in the Star Wars lore, because we know about it, we've heard about it, now we get to see it. Is really cool, and everything that they've shown so far is backed up, what direction they want to go with, and I'm pretty happy to hear that they're sticking to the original kind of theme of what they wanted for this film. It's not going to be this kiddie-friendly action adventure that those previous Star Wars films were. It's going to seem to be a little more grounded, a little more even it's Star Wars, but grounded. A little more not I want to say rustic, but it's like not that's not the word I want to use, but just like dirty. It's seems to be like
it's a war film. Like it's a war.
Basically,
and I know the series is called Star Wars, but it's a war film essentially. It looks like they had the beach explosions, and it's a different kind of planet.
It's like the Empire is at its peak of its rule right now. Like nothing has really come up against it.
Yeah.
And what's cool about what we'll talk later with Rebels is we're getting to see that form. It's pretty cool. It's pretty awesome.
We'll get to Rebels shortly, but so this one has the Jedi, basically spiritual home of the Jedi, Jeddah it's called, I think it is, which again they said no play on words there. It doesn't really have like that. It's just more of like the Jedi's Jerusalem is in this movie, and that's where Donnie Yen's character actually is at with this other guy. But Gareth Edwards explained that whole thing where it's kind of like there's been a lot of speculation about Rey and who she is in episode, we're finding out in episode 8. So there's supposed to be a lot more spiritual aspects that we're going to be introduced, which is not normal for Star Wars, I guess. Well, it's a little normal.
Midichlorians, Jim? Come on.
So there's actually supposed to be more spiritual stuff, and I've heard a rumor that she might be actually the real Chosen One, which may negate the Skywalkers entirely. Does that make any... Yeah, that's a theory. There's crazy theories. This is not true, probably, but there are crazy theories out there, and... So she is actually the birth of the champion, essentially, and I guess it's like a cycle. I've heard about the thing goes in cycles. So you have the one who makes a choice and then cycles through, and then you have the rebirth, and then they get another choice.
Kind of like Neo, you are actually the 8th one.
Well, you could be the Destructor, or you could be the, you know what I mean? You could be either or. So this is kind of that's what I've been hearing about this, but. Who knows? It's all hearsay.
There's very much Matrix Revolutions right there.
Yes. Yeah. But the new planet looks awesome. They've got a lot of water. It looks like a tropical environment in Star Wars. Just seems weird, doesn't it?
Well, considering we had desert planets and ice planets.
Ice, yeah. Snow.
Well, yeah, some jungles. I mean,
but not I guess
Endor.
We did Endor, but it was a different feeling. It was all pines. This is beachfront. This is sieging the beaches and stuff. Water. The stormtroopers are walking through water in the one image. But I love the poster they revealed with the Death Star in the background. I don't know if either of you guys saw that one, but that's an awesome poster. It looks so cool, Tony. You got to look it up.
Okay.
It's really nice. Got me psyched for this.
The poster? I saw the movie poster. It was all right.
Is it the blue one with the Death Star?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I liked it. I thought it looked pretty cool. So, and then of course they showed a teaser to the audience there that we didn't get to see, and we probably will never see it. They'll probably just do a regular trailer for us. But Darth Vader was in the teaser. Mm-hmm. So, and everybody obviously cheered, and that's what I hear from what I've read. Darth Vader was in that trailer, and we got to see him for the first time in a long time. So, I'm psyched for that.
Unless you watch Rebels.
Unless you watch Rebels, which we get into now. They also had Rebels news this whole weekend, and man, some great news for season 3. So, Darth Maul is back. Despite, I read an article that they wanted to kill him off originally, which is interesting. Now, Tony, you haven't watched Rebels
originally, they did kill him off.
Oh, yeah, but I mean in Rebels.
In Clone Wars?
In Rebels, they wanted to kill. He was supposed to die in the finale there, against Vader. That was the original plan. And then when they wrote, the story, they realized, we can do a lot more with this character, and it just doesn't quite fit right there. So, not to say he's not going to die to Vader later, but...
and this is all spoilers, obviously.
Yeah.
Well, it's not really... He's alive. I guess he's alive. Yeah, that is a spoiler, but...
If you haven't seen any Rebels, you don't know any of this stuff.
Yeah, so we'll keep it spoiler-free, because it's awesome, and you should watch... Season 2's finale was, edge of my seat. I love that finale. You have to watch Clone Wars, though, to love that finale, though. I really think so.
I don't think you have to watch Clone Wars, but it helps.
To get the appreciation level that I got from that, I'm I think you need to watch Clone Wars. At least some of it. They showed Ahsoka Tano's lost episodes of Clone Wars, some of them. Where she was going to go in the story before it got canceled. She was going to, original plans where she was going to fight Maul and Sidious in Clone Wars. So that would have been... So I'm guessing she probably would have died in the Clone Wars if she fought Sidious, but... but whatever.
There's a book coming out of her origin, I think.
I'm so psyched for that book. She's one of my favorite characters. One of my favorite characters, without a doubt. But the biggest news from the Rebel Season 3 premiere trailer that we saw...
Do we want to say it, though? I don't know. It could be a spoiler.
Okay, so there's a...
There's a character in the extended universe. For those
wondering. You know how Tony, and I'm looking over on your side here, there are legends and there's canon. You know how Disney redid that whole thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So all of those books that we read when we were younger are all legends, right?
Right.
So they've even made the statement, though, at that point, that those are based on fact. I mean, they're legends. So they've gotten skewed over time like a legend would. Right. So the good news is a major character, villain, from one of the books, I'm not going to say which one, happened to be one of my favorites, it's a trilogy, is going to be the villain in this season.
Okay.
And that makes bringing him from Legends into canon.
That's cool.
Which opens up a lot of doors.
Yeah, lots of doors.
You could get, because there's a character in that storyline that has a very close tie to a certain Jedi that lost an arm. I'm just saying.
Lost a hand. Lost a hand.
Well, he lost part of his arm.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely has a strong tie to him. There, we kept it as vague as possible, but you guys need to watch Rebels, and this season looks so exciting. It comes out in the fall, and I'm like, my excitement level's at a 10 for this now.
10 out of 10?
10 out of 10 excitement level.
The thing that excites me the most, I don't think this is a spoiler, it's just that the direction they're taking this show, and it's similar to what they did with Clone Wars, started off very friendly towards children because they want to get kids involved in it, and now it's just turning so dark. I mean, it's touching on a lot of very dark themes.
Kind of ages the show a little bit towards the, like, as the audience grows up.
Right, maybe it's because they figured the kids are growing up with the show now.
Yep.
It's like a Harry Potter thing,
Potter.
where it's like
so
everything gets darker. But they're like also starting to fill in some of these gaps and areas in time that we haven't seen before, and that's like I keep like preaching here with Rogue One. I love seeing these stories told in periods of time that haven't been shown before, and that's what we're getting here as well.
We're gonna get a lot of crossover characters starting this season. I heard too, like A New Hope characters and Rogue One characters in Rebels.
Well, there's a certain
there's a certain captain in Rogue One from Clone Wars, which is awesome.
And in New Hope, there's a captain that's a very young character. In this,
I want my boy Dash Rendar from Shadows of the Empire.
See, but it's possible now because
I know.
they brought this character in from the Legends, so it's highly possible to have Dash in this. It's gonna be. It's really
exciting.
It's exciting to see that door open. Like I'm so happy because years of reading those books, years of that, and now we have some payoff a little bit. But all right, let's move on. We've got Game of Thrones news. HBO revealed that there will definitely only be 7 episodes in the next season, and it will be premiering in summer of 2017, not April.
I just don't understand how they're like, oh, it's budget concerns. Like, how is this show and money, like, how is that a question? I really would love to see the books on this. Like, how much is 3 extra episodes actually going to cost them? Like,
dude, it's not just people like buying Game of Thrones merch and like watching the shows, but like this show has brought like an exuberant number of subscribers. I mean, it's ridiculous. Like the HBO Go service was basically launched because of this show.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous how much this show alone has propelled HBO into not just, being a cable like movie provider or whatever, but now into like a streaming service that people will go back to over and over again. Like, sure, like Sex and the City was popular back in the day, and they had what's that Larry David show?
Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah, I mean, like they had shows like that, but like that wasn't mainstream. Like.
Yeah, this is like totally mainstream.
Well, like Curb Your Enthusiasm was on HBO, right? I don't even remember.
I think it was on Showtime. Maybe it wasn't.
It was on one.
It was HBO. All right. But anyways, so we're going to get probably then 6 episodes in season 8. So, you think we'll get 7 again?
6. I think they said 6 episodes.
Yeah, I think we're going to get 6. So they could have just done one long season.
They could have,
But they don't make as much money.
Yeah, I know.
Fucking greedy bastards.
It would have been nice. What they could have done is done a April release and then maybe a fall release. For seasons 7 and 8 or whatever it's going to be.
Yeah,
maybe. Now here's the real question: is the show going to end before the next book comes out?
No. At this point, right now, I have to say I can't.
No. I will say no. I think the book comes out before the show
next year.
Ends. Yeah, I think the book comes out next year.
You want to make a bet on that?
Yeah, I'd bet on that.
All right.
You okay?
I'll take that bet.
Wow.
There it is.
Boom.
I bet on it. Next year, by the end of next year.
The book does not come out by the end of 2017.
Oh, no. I said I thought we were saying by the time that episode or the next season airs.
Oh, I thought it was.
Were you saying the end of
the show ended? So that's 20. Listen, I'm giving you actually to the end of 2017 instead of when the show would end. The show would end in 2018. Actually.
You don't think the book will come out in 2017 at all? Jim?
I think the book is coming out in 2017.
Or I mean, Tony. Sorry.
That's really the question, Tony. The book will be out in 2017.
Let me put a pin on that. Let me think about that.
That's
The real bet would begin if I consider the first half. I know that's where you're at right now, and I'm like, is it going to be out in the first half? And I'm hesitant to make that one. That's where I'm.
I really doubt that. It's probably going to be fall.
Yeah.
Anything, but I just at this point you can't even say with any any confidence that this is going to happen. It's just like this guy just does not like to write books.
Yeah.
Nope. He likes to do everything else.
Yeah.
Not that I blame him. I mean, if I was in his predicament, I'd probably be fucking.
And the amount of freaking like pressure he's got on him too is just got to be daunting. But still, just get it out there, man.
Yeah.
I mean, what has it been, like 6 years almost now? It was 2011, right?
2011 was when 2011 was Dance with Dragons. 2011. So it's been a while already. 5
years then at least. So I mean that's
entire console generation.
Yeah.
It's like the Last Guardian. Let's just skip PS3 completely.
Where was the MCU at even in 2011?
Iron Man.
Was it Iron Man 1?
No. Iron Man 1 was 2008, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, it was early. That was 2011. I thought 2012 was Avengers, right?
Yeah.
So that was just before. It was probably
Captain America?
Yeah, it was probably Captain America.
And Thor, yeah.
That was Captain America, yeah. I'm almost certain that was a 2011 movie, so. Yeah.
It's crazy to think about it in that perspective. Like, we've had 3 Captain America movies, 3 Iron Man movies, 2 Avengers movies.
We've seen Spider-Man change studios, get rebooted.
Yeah.
Wait, we've seen Spider-Man get rebooted and then change studios.
Change studios.
I like the one where with The Last Guardian. It's like Naughty Dog's put out Uncharted, Uncharted 2, Uncharted 3, Uncharted 4, and The Last of Us before The Last Guardian got released.
Well, you can see almost the same thing about Final Fantasy 15. Because that was announced before PS3 was even out. Back when it was Final Fantasy Versus 13. That was originally
13 Versus or Versus 13.
Yeah, that's right. So
they put out 3 13 movies, games before they even released.
Yes, that's right. Oh man. All right. What else we got here? We've got Chris Hemsworth returning to the next Star Trek movie. They've already announced a sequel, a 4th movie in this rebooted universe. So
wait, Chris Hemsworth?
Hemsworth played Kirk's father
dad
in the first movie. He dies in the beginning.
I don't remember that.
Spoilers.
He dies when
in the beginning.
When Eric Bana's character first shows up.
Oh, I guess I do realize that now.
So he's coming back for the 4th one somehow. So more time travel.
Time paradox.
Wasn't the girl the girl that's in Once now? She was the mom.
I'm trying to think.
She was in House.
Yes, that's her. Yeah. Yep. Small role for her on that. She was out of the movie pretty early. So.
Name him after your father.
That was a great reboot, though. People hated it, but I liked the reboot. I thought it was fun.
I thought it was a great way to reboot because it totally just made up their own storyline and had actual relevance for that instead of being like, oh, well, here's another one, except this is a totally different character. They were totally different characters because of events that happened in the future of the original one, which was pretty cool. I thought that was a great way to do it. Yeah, I mean, there were some, out of nowhere things like Red Matter, but whatever.
For the story. All right. Let's see. We've got Sony exec came on record already saying there will be a Ghostbusters sequel. No matter what this movie does.
It's so creepy, dude.
Unbelievable.
What is he doing? He's creeping up on you.
That's my brother, everybody. There you go. Brought me.
Did he make you a drink or? Oh, okay.
He brought me our beer. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
Nice.
Wow. Anyways,
it's funny.
That was probably pretty creepy on the video. I can't wait to watch that part. I had the camera minimized, so I couldn't get to see what that looked like. But all right, where are we? Ghostbusters sequel will happen. What'd you guys say now?
I think that's a good thing. I don't know. I think it's a good thing. Maybe they can do better the second time with the audiences, and because apparently this movie's not as bad as people say. Like, shocking, but it's not as bad as it's not the worst thing that's ever been produced. So,
well, it's gotten a pretty good set of reviews on Rotten. It's 73% fresh, which is about 50 points higher than I thought that movie would be at. I mean, listen, Mike's argument that the feminists will vote highly for this movie and the critics will be afraid to review it is. I'm not saying that's not the case with some of this. Like, there are probably some padded reviews, but there's a lot of good critic reviewers out there that I trust that have given this a good score. A decent score. Not an amazing score, but it's not as much of a train wreck as we all expected.
Mm-hmm.
So, a sequel maybe.
It's got some pretty funny people in it. So
they said the cast is they're too tied up from the Hollywood. Like, Hollywood has basically tied them up so they can't do their own thing, and they make this too much like the original movies. So it doesn't do its own thing, and that's the problem with this movie. So they didn't give them the freedom to do what those actors are all about. Those actresses, actors, what do we call them? So that's the biggest gripe that people have with the movie, is that it's not its own thing. They wanted to make a reboot, and all they basically did was play it close, play it easy mode, essentially.
I think it would have worked a lot better if the other movie existed in this universe.
Yeah, and I think it would have been fine to make this 20 years, 30 years later.
Wait. What in the same universe?
This movie, if it was not a rebooted universe, like if this was because if Dan Aykroyd was in this as Ray, and you had Bill Murray, they could have done that and just made it 30 years later. It would have been fine.
Right. That's where I feel like they should have went with it. Yeah. But
so.
I don't know. We'll see.
All right, and the last bit of movie news we got is Batman is in Suicide Squad, which we know about, but we're going to get him from a different point of view. We're going to get him from a villain's point of view, the criminal side. So we're going to see him basically.
I heard that in the background. Totally, I'm watching this. I'm like, is he gonna
look behind the curtain, boys.
He's getting thrown off, isn't he? I was like,
I'm completely off here.
And there it goes.
Yeah.
So yeah, Batman is obviously in Suicide Squad, and it's going to be similar to the animated film where you see him from the point of view of the Suicide Squad instead of from his own point of view.
Yeah, so it's going to be like we're going to get a more terrifying Batman. The terror he imposes on criminals, the thing that he wants. We're supposed to get that point of view from a lot of of this movie, which sounds cool. Like
Predator mode.
Yeah, we're gonna get a different Batman. Well, not that we didn't get a different Batman in Batman vs Superman, but
the Batfleck, best Batman.
He's not terrible. He's not terrible.
The best Batman?
The movie was terrible.
He's not terrible. Batman?
Live action Batman, yeah.
Oh, okay, all right. Okay, that's not as ridiculous of a statement.
I'm not including comics or animation. I mean, obviously, Kevin Conroy is the best Batman.
Okay, I was gonna say, I was like,
but I'm saying as in live action.
Okay.
Film.
Yeah.
Okay, there's an asterisk there. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Suicide Squad. Nonetheless, projected for 125 opening, which will beat Guardians.
That would be really, really good for that.
It would be amazing if that movie opened that strong.
Oh, Harley Quinn, man.
You know what's funny about that is that movie that opens that strongly. I predict that having better legs. We're going back to legs again than Batman vs Superman had. So the drop off just won't be there. So
again, Jim, Harley Quinn.
Yeah, the movie could theoretically do more. Probably could. It could do more than Batman vs Superman. Theoretically, if it opens at 125.
Well,
domestically.
It definitely has the chance to do it, and it's coming out in a time when people don't have as much to see, I guess. So. Yeah.
Sorry, there's muttering going on in the background. All right.
I'm excited for it. You guys know I picked that as my most anticipated.
Yeah, and you might be right. It might be really good.
I mean, I was always looking forward to it more than I was Batman vs Superman because we called the plot line, and the trailer's even like, yeah, you probably guessed the plot line. Yeah. Surprise.
I just getting into what we've been.
You don't have to guess. They just showed you it.
Yeah.
Getting into what we watched. I mean, I just watched the ultimate cut, whatever they call it.
Oh, you watched on Amazon Prime, or did you?
No, I Best Buy sent me the movie early again.
Oh, sweet.
So I got it and I put it on my digital and I watched it. Do you know that because I decided that I had a $10 credit, I got the 4K version of the Batman because I was like, well, I could have gotten it in 3D, but I'm like, I'm gonna go 4K at some point in my life. So I got the 4K version. But if you get the 4K version, the Blu-ray, the regular Blu-ray, is not the Ultimate Edition. It's the theatrical cut. So the only way to watch
I saw that on Amazon.
the Ultimate Edition is to watch it digitally or 4K on the 4K version. So I got it digitally.
It's terrible.
Yeah. So because,
why would they do that?
Because it's not. Listen, it is a half an hour more for the Ultimate cut, but it does make the movie. I don't know if it's going to be slightly better, but it does make it more cohesive. It's less. It does make it less jumpy, but even the stuff that doesn't make sense, expanded, still doesn't make sense. You just get more of it. So, like, there was more of a story in the beginning of.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to watching it tomorrow.
There's a lot more of that Superman framing in the beginning where everybody's like, did he kill all those men, like when he goes and rescues? That's explained how that happens. There's a big setup with that. And they show that whole thing go down. And they actually explain that. That's probably the largest added scene. There's a couple other minor things added throughout it that I thought were fine. They definitely didn't take away from the movie, and they should have been in it to begin with, but then they would have made a 3-hour movie. So, but then they could have also cut the Martha things. That saves you about 5 minutes.
Why'd you say that name?
Yeah. That's all he kept saying. Like, we don't need to hear the name Martha 80 times in the movie. However,
the Batman's parents and what happens to them gets shown way too much.
It does.
Batman's
wastes a lot of time.
Faux origin gets shown way too much. We know who this character is. We did not need to see that kid running through shit field stuff. That was just dumb.
So so overall, I actually liked it better the second time because I picked up on more of Lex Luthor's master plan throughout it. It's well sprinkled. I don't think it's added from the Ultimate Cut. I think those are just well sprinkled in that we didn't notice it. Like, the manipulation he does with these two guys, knowing from the beginning who they are, really is awesome. So, and you picked that up more this time around. He's still the worst part of the movie, without a doubt. But he,
It's Cherry.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think Superman was the worst part of this movie.
No, they just didn't give Superman his. They didn't.
Well, that's what I'm excited to see. See what they do. Like I said, I like the film, so I'm excited to see it. And like I said, this Batman was my favorite on-screen Batman.
I think you guys should just demand better. That's all. I mean, it's fine if you liked the movie, but they could definitely do better, and I think you should be demanding better.
We deserve a better.
Yeah.
It's not the movie that we deserve. It's the movie we got.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So more about what I've been up to. So I've watched that. I watched Star Trek, and I also.
Stranger Things.
Stranger Things. Thank you. Netflix's new series.
It's like all over.
Ever since you mentioned it, it's all I see on my Facebook feed. Like, everybody's like, "Oh, Stranger." I'm like, "All right, I guess I have to watch this now." So
I'm disappointed it was only 8 episodes. It's only 8 episodes.
What? That's weird.
Voltron. How many was Voltron?
Well, Voltron was.
But it's a half an hour. These are at least hour long.
Yeah.
They're not hour long.
Voltron was like
45 minutes. These episodes.
Voltron was like 9 or 10, but the first episode was technically 3 in 1 because it was an hour long.
Yeah. So yeah, it was. I thought it was 13 episodes or 12 or something like that. But this is 8 episodes. They're all about 45 minutes long. It's an 80s styled show, so it's meant to be. You think it's shot in the 80s. It is the time period, but the look of it looks like an old 80s movie that mixes. And I'm not even kidding here. It absolutely 100% mixes a little bit of The Thing. A little bit of Alien.
John Carpenter's Thing?
Yeah, Thing. A little bit of Alien. I'm not saying on that one. Alien and Goonies and E.T. That's the mix. So it's about this kid that goes missing in the beginning of the show. And that's all I'll tell you. And it's a mystery what happened to him. So, and
I like all those things you mentioned. So
it's like, and it all ties. Those things all tie in like the inspirations of this movie, and that's the basic premise of the story is the mystery there involved in it. So, it's awesome, man. It's really well done. Like when they were sending the preview because Netflix, they like to hype up their shows. I was like, oh great, another original series. I hate how they always they come up in your feed for the entire week. But I was glad it did because they got me to watch it, and sure enough, yep, it was awesome.
Yeah. I think it's like rated 26 already on IMDb out of top 200.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Dude, it was really good. I mean, it was really good. The filming, the music. They chose music that makes it feel like an 80s movie. Like it really feels like an 80s movie, like a thriller, an 80s thriller, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, this one article was pretty, like, the thing that they were saying that I thought was a good point here was like, this is how you do nostalgia without having to reboot something or remake something.
Yeah.
It's possible, people.
It is. So that's pretty much all I've watched. Corey, go ahead.
Let's see. Watching wise, not much really. I mean, there's been other things that have been taking up most of my time, but I have watched an anime. Oh, and I also, well, anyway, I've been watching that anime, Gakusen Toshi. Asterisk. Asterisk. The Asterisk Wars, and it's been really good. There's been 2 seasons of it, I think, and they're really short. They're only about 13 episodes, yeah, something like that. It's like, it seems like it should be 1 season really, except it's 2 seasons. And it's about a kid who transfers to this new school, and there's like 7 schools, and they all kind of fight each other, have these tournaments, and they all have their own strengths and weaknesses. So one school is all about like technology, another school is more like shadowy, and then there's like an all-girls school or something. So you can guess what that is all about. But
there's
definitely
some fan service mixed in. You know?
Yeah, they find themselves invaded by tentacles a lot.
Like just random peeping things happen.
But I mean, there's definitely certain angles that the camera takes that, you know, that. It's definitely a Apple anime.
Apple anime, okay.
Oh wow, Apple anime. Oh boy. Yeah,
it's been fun. It's been fun. It's been good. I really like animes that have a main character who's just like the most powerful character in the show, and like he doesn't have the ability to access all of that right away, and then it kind of builds up, and like eventually he just like explodes and destroys everything. And that's what this show is basically doing here. So that's been a lot of fun to watch. And speaking of Batman, I have been going back and watching Batman animated series.
Nice.
And it's like, am I wrong? But is that music the same music in Tim Burton Batman, pretty much?
It's inspired from it. They definitely took they absolutely are inspired from it.
It's been so long. I just remember, and I watched the episodes, and I'm like, this is just like so much Tim Burton Batman.
Well, that's Danny Elfman's like style, and you know, so I think that the animated series kind of stole that a little bit for the show. Because you got 1989 was Batman, and that's where they kind of took the music from. In 1991, I think this anime series started. So, you know, so their inspiration was Danny Elfman. You can hear it, but and they did it. Yeah, I mean, they almost sound like they're the same, like you said. So it's so close.
Pretty close.
Yeah.
And then I've been trying to get through Voltron also, which I haven't finished yet. I plan on getting.
I'll watch that. So. Yeah. All right, Tony, what have you been up to? Watching, yeah. Really.
Nothing really. I started watching this season of MasterChef because I like MasterChef. Not really geeky. I
watched them gut a lobster.
Yeah, I saw that episode. I
saw that highlight. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I didn't really mention the reality shows I watched too, but Sonia and I, we do like the competition style shows like America's Got Talent and MasterChef.
Yeah.
So I had watching.
I like MasterChef, or at least I did. This season just feels really weird because you don't have Joe or Graham anymore. It just
man, Graham was my favorite, and he's gone.
Was so good.
He's gone now too, huh?
I loved when he would go like this. He'd be like,
he would look up.
Look up.
Yep.
And then say something. It's like it's the look up. Like, what is the answer right there? Like,
somebody's talking to him. I have no idea.
But I liked about that too is that he was actually a crazy good chef, and now you have this other woman, and no offense to her, but she's not a chef. She's a baker.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah, I want to see her cook.
Right.
I want to see her
cook. Trusting her on all the cooking. Like, they've been showing Gordon Ramsay a lot cooking now. Like, cause like, what else do they have, I guess?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But I do like that they're bringing in guests. I just wish I knew who they were.
Probably not long. It's probably not long for the TV.
It's like, welcome to one of the most acclaimed chefs in Europe, blah, blah, blah. I'm like,
yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Who? But, yeah. So, I mean, I'm watching that. It's whatever. Literally what I do is I make dinner, and I come back, and I watch it, and I look at my dinner. I'm like, well, not so hungry anymore. I mean, I'll eat it, but kind of second helpings and stuff like that.
I have to say though, I don't think all those people on that show make everything that they make. I really think people help them a lot.
Really?
Oh hell yeah! Like I don't know. There's something about like. There's definitely a fake aspect to the show, just because it's reality television. The one guy from like I don't know season 2 or season 3, he made a blog and he would just write about like what happened behind the scenes a lot and stuff. And it's really fascinating if you read the blog. I think it's still up. They actually asked him to stop like posting about MasterChef because it was getting popular.
Secrets.
Right, exactly, secrets. But it's really fascinating to read. And like they would like. Obviously, before the season even started, like so they would get selected, which was real. But then before the show started, that we knew it, they actually got like weeks of training by Gordon and other chefs. Like that way, when they're like, "Hey, we want you to make these fucking 3-layer cake with blah 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 blah," and you're like, "Who would ever know how to make that from scratch?" They have practiced that, so at least they have done it once. Small stuff like that, which does break the illusion because it's like, I'm a vegetarian. I've never cooked this before. It's like, well, you did that pretty perfectly, so that doesn't make sense.
So like that lobster one, where it's like, we don't have lobster in our town. Like, nope, I deshelled it exactly the way you did. So.
I like the one guy. He's like, "What's that on the plate?" And he's like, "I don't know where it's from, chef, but it's meat." And he goes, when he just stares him down, he's like, "That's like extra meat. Fantastic. You went beyond my learning." I'm just like, oh my god. The fake outs. I hate the fake outs. Yeah. There's a funny Key and Peele skit where they like kind of parody that. Just I'll link it or something like that. It's really funny. But cool. That's really all I've been watching. Not too much.
All right.
I watched a lot of Evo this weekend. That's why I didn't watch it. So I'll talk about that on the gaming side.
All right. That's going to wrap up 301 movies and TV shows side. If you have any questions or comments, write us podcast at allyoucangeek.net. Follow us on Twitter, allyoucangeek. Like us on Facebook and all that pizzazz. Join us on Slack chat. Also, we talk about movies and TV shows on there as well. So, stay tuned. Well, tune in to 301.5, which will be the gaming side. Coming at
Let us know what you think of this format.
Yeah.
That would be. I'm curious.
Yeah, check us if you're listening. If you're subscribed to our YouTube audio podcast. Your iTunes. Hit us up on YouTube. It's allyoucangeek.net. Please subscribe to that as well. Like our video and stuff like that. We just like to get the feedback if you like it, if you don't like it, if you just don't want to see our faces anymore, ugly or
I promise, as we learn how
racist.
As we learn how to use the equipment, video quality will get better. I promise. Yeah. So, and maybe some external hard drives to store this.
It's been 300 episodes, Jim. We haven't got it right yet.
Video. All right. Tune in next. Tune into the video one next time. I don't even know how to end this. That's going to be it for this one. All right.